here. Let me mute. If you're on, just mute yourself. Otherwise, let me see if I can just mute everybody. Where's the mute everyone?
Bree, can I just say that am I muted? No, okay. I took my lunch break tonight at work at 9 o'clock at night just to get on this call to hear Marlee because I love her story so much.
Yay! I've never heard Marlee's story besides like little snippets, so I'm really, really excited.
You guys are gonna love her. She's the bomb.
Where is she?
I'm here. I'm here.
Oh, there you are. I exited my full screen and then everybody jumbled around. I'm trying. Okay, now everybody. I think everybody's muted now. I don't know why. I don't know where the button went to mute everybody. But anyway, okay, we'll get started. If you're hopping on, try to mute yourself. So tonight, Marlee is going to share her story. You guys know that I think y'all are sick of hearing from me. So we're trying to get some new, fresh faces on the call. It's kind of exciting to hear from coaches. Y'all, I've been at this for 4 years. So what I do is kind of different than what a new coach should do. Like, it's a different world out there. So someone doesn't have sound. Any ideas, guys? I'm so not techie.
Maybe try logging out and logging back in.
I know that like there's like somewhere where you can click your sound, but if you're on a computer, I think you have to go. Maybe try logging off and then logging back on. Vicky, if you're on an iPhone, maybe turn your iPhone up. It could just be the static in the car if you're in a car. I know sometimes like there's really bad feedback. I will record, guys, so if it's rough, I'll record it so you can watch it. Oh, if Erin has no sound, I guess she couldn't hear the tip to log off. Duh. Everyone else can hear, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I will record. I can't type for the life of me right now. Okay. All right, so Marlee is going to share her story. Like I was saying, it's nice to hear from fresh coaches jumping into it, having success, loving what, Team Beachbody culture. Not that we don't all. If you're on the team call, obviously you're loving it. But just to hear a different perspective, a different story, because honestly, I feel like there's just no right person to coach. It's like everybody has a story to relate to somebody else in this world, right? So, I mean, there's really no like right or wrong person for coaching. So I think that hearing from our team, hearing from coaches, it's not like, oh, this person is 15 stars, so they need to talk, or this person has these accolades or has made millions, so we need to have them. It's like, no, real people with real lives running real legit businesses for Team Beachbody. So, and for themselves. So Marlee's going to talk. I'm not going to take up any more time because it took a little bit of time to get going. Marlee, go ahead and take it away. I'm going to mute myself, but then I'll unmute if you need anything. So go for it.
All right.
And so Marlee is a coach under Desiree, and Desiree is like our adopted coach. She's like my little adopted child. So she's like a leader on our team. So that I kind of forgot to like tie in. So she's a coach under Desiree. Just joined our team. Has it been 30 days?
Well, I actually joined in like April, May-ish, but I had a baby, so I was kind of on like a little leave and then restarted like I think September 1st it was.
Okay. So kind of like a month you've been back into like coaching is what I thought, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, take it away.
Okay, so first I need to say that I'm like so freaking nervous, you guys. Like, speaking is not my thing at all. Like, I would literally ditch college classes to like get out of speaking in front of people. So if I like screw up, like just forgive me, because I literally have notes for my own damn story, you guys. Like, this is so bad. But okay, so a little bit about me. Geez, it's such a long story, but I'll try to make it like super quick. My whole life I've struggled with being overweight ever since I was little. And I was always athletic and in all these different sports, but I still struggled with my weight. And in high school, it kind of seemed to get really bad because in middle school, I tore ligaments in one of my ankles. And in high school, I tore ligaments in my other ankle. And at that point, like, I just kind of had to stop all my sports altogether because both my ankles were like completely, and I just could not get it together. Sorry, I'm hearing somebody. But anyways, so I had to stop all my sports altogether, and I started noticing that like my sports diet was no longer just kind of still dropping weight. Like, I was gaining weight because I wasn't getting all the physical activity that I was used to. So at that point, like, I started like rapidly gaining weight and I didn't know what the heck to do. All I knew was I wanted to be skinny. And, people were making fun of me and like saying like they wouldn't date me because I was overweight and like all these crazy things. And, I was really down on myself and I turned to bulimia actually to kind of drop the weight and drop it now. And it worked really well. I mean, it worked really well. However, it was a very sad time for me because everything I did was an obsession. I was obsessed with getting rid of food. I would eat as much as I possibly could, and then I'd go right to the bathroom and I'd just get rid of it all. And it was a horrible feeling because you'd have to like get caught up in a huge lie. You'd tell people like, oh my God, like, I don't know, my metabolism just magically caught up with me. Or you'd have to say like, my stomach's upset, like I really don't feel good, just as an excuse to like run to the bathroom. And people obviously saw right through it, but I tried to keep this fake front as best as I could. In school, everywhere I went, I would just eat so much and just be like, oh yeah, no worries, I'm fine. And so I got into that and was into that for like 3 years. But the first, like 5 months, I think I dropped from 199 down to 148, like super, super fast. And, I felt good on the outside, but on the inside, I was a freaking mess. Like, I hated everything about myself. Like, I was at a size 5, like my smallest weight ever. And I was still pointing out like how bad I looked. Like, there's fat here and I wish this wasn't here. And it was like freaking just horrible mentally. And, I remember I started working at Buffalo Wild Wings in 2013, and that's where I met my boyfriend. And it was kind of the worst time for my eating disorder at that point. And, working at a restaurant and getting half off food, like you would literally just eat everything you could get your hands on. Like, I would down a freaking sampler platter to myself and then run to the bathroom. Like, I didn't care how busy it was. I would ditch my whole team and be like, okay, peace, gotta go be selfish for a minute. And, it was a mess. And I met my boyfriend, and, he was the first person that ever like positively like complimented me and was like super nice and super generous and just was always telling me how beautiful I am. And it just started hearing those words, those affirmations were like changing my mind completely. And I slowly but surely got out of the whole bulimia thing. And, however, going back to the sports, I never had like a legitimate idea of portion sizes of how much you should eat or what you should eat, because being an athlete, I played basketball, golf, track, soccer, volleyball. I was into everything. And eating like an athlete without working out and eating like an athlete after coming out of an eating disorder of bulimia, you balloon instantly. Like, it was horrible. And that was my irrational fear, was that like I was going to eat something and then the next day I was going to be like twice the size as I was before I even started with my eating disorder. So, I now had a problem of binge eating, and I would binge eat everything. But the problem was I wasn't getting rid of it now, and I wasn't working out. So it was just, it was a mess. It was a horrible mess. And I gained everything back and then some. Like, I think I was sitting at 218 for a while, and then I got pregnant with my daughter and had my daughter. And then when I got pregnant with my son, that was back, I believe, November of last year, I was at 250 and that was the highest weight I had ever been. And it was like so mortifying. And after I had my daughter, I went through a whole phase of like, I don't want to do anything. Like all I wanted to do was watch TV and lay on the couch and not do anything. And I just remember one day, like I ran out of shows to binge watch after like 3 months. And I was like, oh, crap. Like I would lay in my pajamas all day. And I just remember I turned the TV off and I kind of sat up and I just like looked around my house and I was like, oh my God, like, why have I been ignoring my life? What is wrong with me? My house hadn't been cleaned in like 3 months. Like it was so gross. And I hadn't given my daughter the attention she deserved as, you know, as a newborn to 3 months old. Like I just was not doing anything and I just lost myself. I didn't contact any friends. Like I didn't go out. I did nothing but sit in my pajamas all day. And I was in another dark spot. I didn't want to do anything. And I just remember I just said to myself, I was like, something has to change. And the next day I put my clothes on, like normal clothes, and I felt like a freaking whole new start. And that was right around the time where I started following Desiree and her journey. And I reached out to her several times over the next few months. But I always had a freaking excuse, you guys. I always had the excuse of I don't have time, I don't have money, I can't, I won't, I don't. Like, and I just kept saying it. And she would continually like reach out to me and be like, I have a deal for you. Like, come on. And finally, April of this past year, my birthday's in April, and I was talking to my mom, and I'm like, we all know something's up with me. Like, I need a change. And we all know how badly I want to get healthy, and we all know that I need something that's going to bring me joy again. And I was like, so please, can you sign me up for the All Access Pass? And so my mom bought it for me, and my whole life changed, like, instantly. I started working out, and you guys remember I was 7 months pregnant at this point, and this is like my huge, like, so proud of myself moment. I was 7 months pregnant, and I finished a 30-day workout program. I finished Country Heat, and it was like the best thing of my whole life. Like I was so freaking proud of myself, and I haven't been able to say that in so long. So, 2 weeks into that program, I was like, sign me up as a freaking coach. Like, I want to do this. I want other people to feel the way that I do after feeling the way that I did feel. I want people to know what it's like to come out of it and not have to get professional help, and come out of it and be rejuvenated and refreshed and have a whole new outlook on life and be proud of yourself. Like nothing can top that feeling. And then I had my son, and we had some issues, along the way. He was in the NICU for 2 weeks, and I had a hard time with that, and I was kind of worried that maybe I'd fall off the wagon and fall really hard into stress eating and all these different things, because he's had a lot of issues up till a couple weeks ago. Sorry, I'm trying not to get emotional. Sorry. Okay, so I got back into it in the beginning of September, and I started with UV2, and then I went to yoga, and I've just been trying all these new things, and I love what I'm doing so much. It's like the greatest decision I have ever made. So that's kind of about me. Do you want me to like go on to tips, or like where do you want me to go from there? Again,
awesome. I'll unmute myself for 1 second. Yeah, I'm really excited to hear what you've been doing, but sharing those things, I'll let you take a breath, because I know when I first shared my story, my coach asked me to do that, and I was like, you mean people? And I think there's something to be said, because I mean, what we do as coaches is share our story every day, right? But when you're sitting behind a computer screen or that phone and you're like typing your story, it's so much easier than when people are looking at you and like tears start welling up. When you're telling someone, like truly telling a friend how you're feeling versus how you're typing it out to like tell people, it's completely different. So props to you for getting through it. I had no idea your story, and I know our team here, like, we're like cheering you on. Obviously, like, we've all had those mom struggles and like those I won't say we all, but I'm pretty sure we all had those days where we sat on the couch going, who the freak cares? Like, the bathroom's dirty. Like, I just want to watch TV. Like, I have no motivation. I have no drive. Like, I have nothing to give. Like, no F's to give. I'm listening to The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F, so I've been like, the F-bomb's been like in my brain. I'm a mom, I can't say it. But it's like every single day is a choice to show up for yourself. And the fact that you didn't let the things in your life, the pregnancy, like afterwards, kids being sick, like those things are what so many people say, I give up, I'm done. And the fact that you haven't, and like that is what, like that's what coaching is about, you know, like to know that there's somebody else out there, Marlee, like you. And like for all of you listening to Marlee, like I don't have Marlee's story. I struggled actually with the opposite of like not eating, right? Like I had a different disorder and I still struggle with different things. And like your story is so unique to you. You don't have to have this giant death. You don't have to have like, I don't know, been hospitalized for depression. You don't have to have, you know, some like my house burnt to the ground and now I'm a coach and making millions, right? Like you don't have to have this story. I think so many people like look at coaches and they're like, well, I don't have that story, or I don't have something massive in my life that happened. But guess what? The little characteristics of your story, the little struggles that you struggle with that are monumental and huge in your life, right? Like you don't have to have like a drug addiction like I did, or struggle with alcohol or whatever. Like it doesn't have to be, you know, this big thing. Like it can be these little things where they just start to add up. And like SHIT happens in life where they pile on top of us, and that creates your story. So, I mean, the fact that you're turning your mess into your message and you're like, I'm not going to be that girl. I'm not going to be that person. Like, that's what makes you unique. That's what makes so many people need you as a coach and not me or Leilani or Carly or Desiree. Like somebody needs you to make that post every single day, because you don't know who you're going to add, who you're going to message on Instagram that's going to be like, girl, I read your story, I need your help. Or like, oh my gosh, I've been through that, right? And when I hear people say like, oh, I don't think I'd make a good coach, or like, oh, well, I'm not a mom, I see you like, you know, you work with moms. And I'm like, what, girl? Like, well, we need a college kid on our team or whatever. Like, you know, it's so inspiring to see so many women on this team, but with one like-minded agenda of like willing to put ourselves out there and share that scary crap and put it out there because somebody needs it, right? Somebody needs to know that that mess can turn into something amazing, that mess isn't who they are, that there is something so much more inside if you're willing to go through the crap to get to it, right? Like I'm sure it wasn't easy when you started, or still when you started doing UV2 or you did country heat when you were pregnant. Like it's not easy to get up and say, oh, I want to do this, because you don't want to do it, right? And it's a lot like coaching, right? Like there are days when I'm like, I don't want to talk to any of the people, but I have ingrained in my brain that there is somebody in my inbox or somebody on Instagram or somebody on Facebook that needs me every single day, right? I've just ingrained that in my brain. If I don't get to my inbox, I've had girls go, I'm not sure if you're like, I really need your help. Like, and I'm like, okay, just a minute, right? Like, no, I'm not tied to my phone, but there are people out there like, I read your story, I need your help right now, right? Like I've hit my wall. And so it's funny because Erin's on the call. She just joined our team and she literally was like, we've been talking since like 2014 when I signed up. And she literally was like, I signed up as a coach. And I'm like in the car and I'm like, wait, what? Like we've been talking for 3 years. What? Right? Like you never know when it clicks and it's like, you know what? I'm sick of this crap. Like I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something. And Marlee, you chose to just do something and take it a step at a time. And you know, no, when you signed up, did you become a millionaire overnight as a Beachbody coach? Absolutely not. But have you gained so much from a team, from a community, from something that's life-changing and affected you in a way that's like manageable to create this long-term like lifestyle out of, you know, and it's a promise of something more. And it's a hope that like, okay, just one day at a time. Here's my 4 little steps, and I have community. If I miss, one of those steps, I know I can plug in and get the support that I need. And that is what like incredible about coaching is like, guys, I don't want to do my workout, right? Like I have my challenge group to plug into, or I'm struggling in this business area, like help, right? In the team page, like there's so much community, and I love that. So, if you have some tips, I would love to hear what you're doing in your business. You're a busy mom. So I'm sure everybody on the call would love to know, like, what are you doing?
Gosh, I'm actually doing a lot. So basically when I actually get to work is usually nap time. And that's it's usually like 15 minutes. Cause I have, like I said, I have he's about to be 3 months old. And then I have a baby that's a year and a half. So they're like super close in age. And when typically, of course, when one goes down for a nap, the other wakes up. So it's like very slim during the day. But as soon as 9 o'clock hits, bedtime hits, I literally like jump on my computer and just start working. And I work until 10 o'clock and I'm in bed by 10:30. Like that is my everyday schedule. My workouts, I hop up first thing in the morning. Like you guys, you might think I'm psycho and crazy, but I wake up at like 4:30, 5 a.m. I like work out, I get my shower in, I get the fresh start of my day. And then, I just hit the day full force because I'm refreshed and I'm rejuvenated and I'm ready to go. But geez, I'm doing everything right now that I can. I don't have a challenge group right at this moment because I was trying to find people for Clean Week, but I have one person that was able to join, but they joined a little bit later than what I wanted my challenge group to be. And it's just, it's been crazy the past week, but I have been working on creating a like page. And I know as a new coach, it's kind of hard to figure out what the heck you want to do and how to start and who you want to target and all these crazy things that are running through your head. Like, where the hell do I go from here? And, you really, your whole thing should just be yourself. Tell your story, know your story, and be able to connect with people from your own experiences. Desiree and I actually went to Super Saturday in Ohio, and we actually got to see Shailene Johnson, which was the coolest first Super Saturday ever for me. But she had 3 points that she talked about that I am sticking to like no other. The first one was, don't tell me you plan to sell me. So the best way to go about it, she said in 2017, people like to kind of have to read a post and wonder what's behind it. So you don't want to be out there and be like, look, here's my Shakeology and me, this is us. And you don't want to be like, Beachbody is my life. You want to kind of drip little hints of curiosity in there. So you want to just be like, I am doing this crazy workout. It's such a fun dance workout, and I get my super dense nutrients every single day, and it's so good. And then people are like, what the hell is she talking about? That sounds so awesome. And you want to kind of not be out there with everything, because when you give them all the information, what do? They Google it. And they're gone. They can go Google it and find it somewhere else, Amazon, whatever. You never know. But you want them to come to you and be like, okay, so I need to know what you're doing, how you're doing it, and all about the product. So huge thing is you want people to be curious and come to you and ask questions, because let's be real. Who loves sitting there messaging people all day long and being like, hey, I have no idea who you are, but hey, join my team. You want them to come to you mainly. Obviously still do your messaging, obviously still follow up, obviously still invite, but wouldn't it be so much easier if everybody just wants to come to you because you're dripping curiosity everywhere? Her second point was likes were thin, questions for the win. Basically meaning every post you make, ask a question, because you want that engagement. You want somebody to comment. You want somebody to ask you a question, or, so in one of my posts, it didn't get very much, engagement or whatever, but just as an example, I already started getting Christmas stuff together for my kids, their Christmas boxes and stuff like that. And so I posted a huge thing that was like, oh my gosh, call me crazy, I'm already getting all my Christmas stuff together. One of our traditions is all this Christmas Eve box stuff. You know, they get pajamas and books and whatever the night before. What's your favorite Christmas tradition? What do you like to do? You know, am I crazy for starting early? Just ask questions, because some people might be like, oh, let me tell her about this because I'm proud of this, you know? So you want to ask questions, because likes get you nowhere these days. Because what are you supposed to do? Oh, hey, I see you like my page. Great. Like, where do you go with that? So you want to ask questions to get people to react. The third one is, she said, borrowed words are for the birds, meaning be yourself. Don't go borrow somebody else's post and have it word for word and just change your name on it, you know, because that's not you. You're not sharing your story. You're not sharing who you are inside. You know, you're not sharing what happened in the past, what led you here. All you're saying is, like, this is my other coach. My other coach is this. You know, they're going to see right through it, because if they know you, like if you're posting that on your warm market, they're going to be like, this bitch didn't go through this. What are you talking about? They're going to be like, I don't know where is she coming from? This is not her. Like, I know her. She's never been through XYZ. Like, this is bull crap. I'm not buying into it. You know, you want to be authentic. You want to be real. You want to connect. So those were the three things from Super Saturday. But another thing I'm working on is being consistent. It's so hard being a mom to be consistent, especially when nap time isn't the same exact time every day. Doctor's appointments are thrown in there. Me and my boyfriend share a car, so I have to go drive him everywhere. Like, it's not easy being consistent. I try to post first thing in the morning, lunchtime, and at night, 3 times a day. And that's all you really need to get somebody to engage. Consistency obviously is key. I created a like page, and I've been having a lot of really good feedback on it. You don't have to create a like page, but I've just been having really good experiences with it. I kind of treat it like a blog. Like, I'm not all fitness all the time. That's not who I am. Like, I'm not a poster for fitness. Like, I enjoy other things too. So I treat it like my blog. Like, I just go on there and I post whatever I feel. Like last night, my boyfriend worked a 12-hour shift, and I'm not used to him being gone that long. And both my kids, of course, had tantrums all day long. And I went live on that page, and I was like, oh my God, single moms that have to deal with this all the time, like, praise you. Like, this is so hard to do this all day long, like extra hours when they're only crying and you've done everything you can. Like, you guys all have to go to work, and you do all these extra things. I'm like, all I've done today is sit here with my kids, and I'm so overwhelmed. Like, praise you, single moms. So just, whatever you're feeling, just post it, because that's you being you. That's you being authentic. Let me see. My biggest thing, like, I am the poster for, like, personal development. Like, that is one of the hugest things that has totally transformed me, is my mindset. It started with reading The Compound Effect. And I remember watching a video that Bree did, like, one of the first weeks that I had joined. And she was just live in the page and talking about personal development. And she's like, The Slight Edge and The Compound Effect, like, these are the best books. And I was like, okay, buying it. And I bought both of them. And The Compound Effect, like, changed me. Like, you're reading it and you're just having aha. Like, holy crap, this all makes so much sense. Just little consistent things can be huge in the long run. So that was one of the first things that totally changed my mindset and started, like, transforming me. Now, I do positive affirmations every single day. Like, I look in the mirror, I'm like, you're freaking beautiful. Don't you ever think about, like, throwing up again. Like, things like that, just small little things that just are going to make you feel so much better, because the more you say it, the better you're going to feel, and you're going to feel it all over. National Wake Up Call. I miss it every week. However, podcast, I listen to it on the podcast every chance I get. Build Your Tribe by Shailene. Desiree told me about that one. It's awesome. It's all these different ways to build your tribe, how to connect with people, how to bring out more of your story. That's a great one. Right now I'm in the middle of GoPro. I don't remember who it's by. I know Bree and Desiree, both of you have read it. But that I'm podcasting also. Like, I don't have time to sit around and read a book. Like, I really don't, because my kids are running around getting into everything. So I just podcast it. I play it over the loudspeaker, and I enjoy it. So thank you, Desiree, for writing that down. And then the other personal development is the Shailene Show. That one, you can find anything in there. Like, she's told me about, well, not told me about, she's had a podcast about like how to build confidence, how to change somebody else. Like if you feel like somebody else is super negative, like you can help them change by like dropping subtle hints, like all these different things, different diets you can do. Like, it's just, that one's kind of like a fun one for your ears, like a nice one to just enjoy if you like it. But those are the main things I'm doing. You know, I'm just kind of trying everything out. And trying, you know, I'm diving full force in because I want to bring my boyfriend home. You know, I want to be successful for my kids. I want to show them that if I can do it, anybody can. Like, I want to start taking things off my vision board and being like, okay, nice. Like, I'm ready for a change, and I'm just diving in with whatever information and just soaking everything up. And that's like, I feel like that's the best thing you can do, is just soak up all the information and just go for it. Just dive in. You can't go wrong. One last thing that Shailene said that really resonated in me. She said, I don't have the right notebook, but basically she said, you can't have success without failure. So if you try and you fail, who cares? Get back up and go again. Like, nobody's going to sit here and be like, you failed, haha. Just jump right back in and just feel like, let's go. We're going to fix this, this, and this, and keep it moving. The more you fail, the more you're going to find the right things to do, and you're going to build your success slowly. And that's just, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. That's all I got.
That's awesome. No, I love going off of the failure thing. I posted a quote we have like a leadership chat with just a few of us leaders in the team. And I posted this morning and said, don't fear failure. Fear being in the exact same place next year as you are today. And I think it rings true because so many people are fearful of running this business or coaching or talking to people, or what are people going to think, or fearful of all the new things coming in when you join Beachbody, right? There's groups and trainings and things, and you're like, I don't know any of this. I'm scared. But to me, when I started, I was like, I'm more fearful that I'm going to be sitting in this closet, hating my body with kids that need me, stuck in a job that I hate, crying still next year. I was more fearful of that, guys, than I was fearful of just trying this. Okay. And that's how you have to view it every single day, is like, the more failure you have, the more success will come. I have failed more this year, going into my 3rd year now. I've had more failure. More coaches quit. I sign up more coaches, and more of them leave, right? I have like the biggest monumental flops of advertising. Like, I try advertising and I'm like, well, there's $300 down the drain. I have posts that completely flop, that people don't like or respond to. I have 5,000 followers and I will make a post and not a single like on a post. And I'm like, what? That didn't work, right? So I am not above the standard by any means. And you have to learn by failure, right? We as humans do that, right? Like a little kid that touches the stove, right? Their failure is not like their demise, right? Like, now, like, you're dead, right? They touched it, they learned. Guess what? They're going to be stronger because of it. And what I think we can learn is, like, embrace the failure. When I get a no, you guys, after I read Go for No, it's a book, personal development, I was like, well, crap, you're right. Every no I get, I'm closer to a yes, right? There is no entrepreneur out there that has not heard no, whether they have a brick and mortar like building or they're building a business online. The more no's you get, the closer you are to the yeses. That's just any business. So when I reach out to somebody about coaching, guess what? I'm totally pumped if they say no, because they responded, right? Like, it's a not right now. Like I said, how many times did your coach have to reach out to you before you're like, okay? And when people tell me within 30 days, they're like, I don't know if coaching is for me. I don't know if this is for me. And I'm like, hey girl, remember that time I talked to you for like a year and a half before you decided to join me in this? So yeah, remember that person you talked to yesterday and they said no? Get back with them in a year and a half, right? Like you have to give it time because people want to know that you're going to be around. Because how many people are starting up businesses going, guys, I'm selling this. And then 7 days later, they haven't made a post. And you're like, are they selling it? Like, what are they doing? Right? So you have to live above that standard and prove to people, I'm not freaking going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. Okay? It's super important. Carrie, I followed up for a year. Some of our best leaders on the team, right? Most of you guys on this call probably didn't go to your coach and go, oh my gosh, I saw your post about your sneak peek and like, how much is it? Like, I want to give you all my money. No, like that's never how it happens ever in my life has that happened in coaching, right? Never, ever. It's taken consistency and saying, hey, let's sit down, let's talk about it. And then maybe they sign up and maybe they don't. Maybe it's not their time, right? We don't waste time convincing somebody of this business. We spend and invest time in ourselves because the quicker you become a leader, the quicker you're growing. When people say they don't know what to post, I'm like, did you drink your shake? Did you do your workout? Did you read personal development? There's 3 posts right there. I don't know what you're talking about. If you're not doing those things, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Right? So, yeah, Ashley Hansen is on the call. She's a mom of 3 kids. She started this business with me. Like her and I, like she was the first girl. I was like, girl, I don't know. This is so weird. I don't even know what I'm doing, but you should try it. I think it's going to be really great. And she joined my team. Stuff happened. Like she kind of like was like doing the mom thing. Guess what? She's back on the team. She's like, I'm going to do it. Right? She's on the team call. Right? It doesn't happen overnight. It takes consistency to be like, guys, I'm going there whether you're coming or not. And they start seeing it. Right? And they're like, oh, they're still doing that thing, right? The little successes. I posted about taking my boyfriend and kiddo out for dinner because $50 to me was a big deal just for working out, for like, girl, you should work out with me, right? Like I need the accountability. They needed it, whatever. So share the small wins, share the wins in your life because people don't care. When you're $1 million earner, it's harder to inspire somebody because they're like, that's so far-fetched, like that's not even a possibility. But losing 5 pounds, gaining positivity, like a mindset of like, I'm becoming stronger, I'm loving who I am, like the mindset thing is huge to people. If you look back at my posts, like I have posts of me drinking and like passed out on couches at college. And you look at me now, people are like, oh yeah, I kind of scrolled, like, wow, you've really transformed. I'm like, right? Like, where would I be without Beachbody? I have no clue. I would have lost my mind. But I definitely would have been a negative, awful person. Like I would not be the person I am. So Marlee, like the fact that you brought up personal development, like when you say you have nothing to post, like are you breathing life into yourself, right? They say like put the oxygen mask on yourself before the person next to you. If you are giving life into your body by doing your workouts and you are reading, listening, whatever. Marlee, I'm with you. I can't read I'm like a squirrel. I read words and I'm like, I have no idea what just happened. Like, so I listen to personal development. And when people are like, my kids, they're loud and this, I'm like, I have to listen to a book literally 6 times. Like I will like listen to it and I'm like, oh, it's over already. Like, and then I'll press replay and I listen to it again. But I get, it's literally like that concept of playing music while you're pregnant, right? Like they can hear it. Like, right? It's like that subconscious because we pick up on the surrounding, right? So if you're listening to personal development and growth and like, even for me, like you don't have to be a spiritual person, but I'll listen to like the Christian radio station or a Pandora station that's like worship music and like just fuels me, right? I am more likely like a call like this to hop off and be like, I have something to post. Guys, our team is freaking fantastic. We had 20 people on the call. We lost some. We had 20 people on a call, right? Just a group of women getting together on a Monday night ready to change the freaking world because we want to help people like feel better, to know there's more out there, right? So when you say you don't know what to post, I'm like, girl, I was posting a dirty break table with an avocado on it going, how do you eat this without, like, when you forget a fork? Like, that was me when I started. And guess what? I just kept going, right? I just kept going. And same, Marlee, with you, like, that journey, right? That little decision, guys, to do one workout and post it, no matter how crappy you think your video is or how crappy you think you edit pictures, you just take the step to do it, because guess what? They're not going to get any crappier. They're only going to get better if you practice. And sharing your story, it doesn't happen overnight. You grow it, you cultivate it, and then you start having things to share because things start to change. I thought it was harder for me because I didn't have weight loss. I was like, when people are like, well, how much did you lose? I'm like, well, I actually gained weight. Well, right? I was like, I didn't know how to share it. I was like, that doesn't make sense, right? I'm trying to sell weight loss. No, I'm sharing a whole new lifestyle with people, right? And now I can be open to be like, guys, it's not about the weight. It's not about the weight, right? Like, it's about the mental shift that we have as coaches, that we have in our community of like, whatever your freaking goal is, we got you, right? I'm turning into Haley Christian. I just watched her story. So does anybody have any questions for Marlee? Carrie, Kevin Hart. I missed something. I just saw Ashley's comment that she loves Kevin Hart and I missed Carrie's. I was like, what is happening? Anybody have questions? Hopefully this was helpful. You guys, I love hearing from our team. I have no topics left to talk about because, like I said in the post I made earlier, you can watch training calls all day long. You can listen to what somebody else is doing, but at the end of the day, until you're ready to dive in and just go, if they're kids, balls to the wall, just do it and fall flat on your face. Be ready to do that. The quicker you fall flat on your face, the quicker you can get back up and try again. And let me tell you, when you get back up again, get ready to fall on your face again, right? This literally is that's the Beachbody journey. But we do it together. I've lost more leaders on my team this year than ever. And guess what? I've doubled my income. So I have something to tell people about those that have left and those that are staying. The ones that stick it out will still have success. But until you're ready to fail really big, you will not ever get to that big win, okay? So hopefully this was helpful. Marlee, thank you so much for sharing your story. I know Des was at work. She messaged me and asked if she could introduce you, and I totally missed it. So she probably would have done an amazing job of introducing you. But you guys, if you did not have, or if you had coaches that missed tonight, I will post the call up like I do every, probably in the morning. It usually takes a long time to upload these because they're so long, guys. But up by tomorrow morning in the photo album labeled Team Calls, so you can watch it, tag your coaches, or send to your coaches that were not able to get on. I forgot to mention, I am going to host a sneak peek on Wednesday. Some of you guys were asking, and I was going to wait till London, but I'm not sure what the connection is going to be in London. So if you guys want to promote and post and talk about coaching and talk about what you're excited about, whether you're a new coach, whether you're a seasoned coach, invite to it. It's going to be in the sneak peek event that I will post after we get off this call in the team page, so you can invite to it. And I'll run it Wednesday through Friday. I leave on Sunday. So yeah, Wednesday through Friday. Some other leaders will be in there. If you want to share your story in the event, just reach out to me so I can give you a day. So if you want to be a part of it, you want your face in there, you want a 5-minute pocket, just let me know. And we'll make sure you get your little snippet of time. So you can post about coaching, whether you're a day in or a year in. You can post about the opportunity and what it's meaning to you, what your plans are with it, and invite to the opportunity. And I will share that link so that you can get people involved to invite to it. Anything else? I think we are good. Thanks again, Marlee. I'll post the recording. Thank you all for getting on. This was an amazing call. I love getting off, and then I'm like, okay, well, it's 9 o'clock, but no, I just want to work for 7 hours. So have a good night, guys. Talk to you soon.